Shalom. Kahalayim La Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim B'chakodash. Double honors to my teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. This is Layaska Kum, Great Millstone Cleveland. Lord willing, back with another edifying lesson through the Spirit. And the point of this lesson was, the Lord only trusted certain people with this information, with the understanding of the scriptures. Back up that point with a few precepts. The fact that you are able to understand this information, make it plain upon tables and teach is special. And when the Lord delivers his elect, we'll know, who those prophets were. But nevertheless, it's Psalm 68:11. It says, the Lord gave the word, great was the company of those that published it. The Lord gives the increase. Talk about the dry bones in Ezekiel 37. Think about Revelation, the 5th chapter, where the Lord loosened the seals on the book so we can get understanding. But pursuing Isaiah 6 and many other scriptures, he's made the eyes of 2/3 of Israel heavy and the hearts and ears fat, so they cannot receive this information. So the fact that we have it and are able to retain it and teach is a blessing from the Lord. And go into that word, publish.
Strong's H 1319. Baser.
It says to bear news, bear tidings, publish, preach. Bear news, announce. To announce salvation as good news, preach. And down here, the Strong's definition, it says primitive root, properly to be fresh, i.e. rosy, figuratively cheerful. No, that's not it. To announce. So lucky. Glad news, messenger, preach, publish, show forth. Point made. This second Ezra's 1. And I'll start on. Second Ezra's 1, and I started 39 straight to the points that 38. And now, brother, behold what glory, and see the people that come from the east, unto whom I will give for leaders. And who are the people that the Lord is going to give for leaders? The prophets. And it goes to list them right here. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Oseas, that's Hosea, Amos, Micaiah, Micah, Joel, Abdias, Obadiah, and Jonas, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi, which is also called an angel of the Lord, a messenger of the Lord. Let's see what that's saying in the GNT. What's that? Verse 39 in the GNT says, look at the leaders I have given them. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Hosea, Amos, Micah, Joel, Obadiah, Jonah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai again. We'll start up a little bit. 37 says, I give my solemn promise that I will bless those people, and their little children will laugh and shout for joy. Those people have never seen me, but deep within them, they will believe my words. Right, and those words will be conveyed through the mouth of the prophets. One of my favorites, Jeremiah 3:15. I started 14. It says, turn, O backslider children, saith the Lord Yahweh, for I am married unto you. Right, espoused. The Lord has chosen you from all nations, from the foundation of the earth, to be a peculiar people, a peculiar nation unto himself. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. And all the speckled birds, the Israelite foreigners. It says, and I will take you one of a city and two of a family, and I'll bring you to Zion. You know, that concept of a remnant, because again, 2/3 of our people are not going to understand. So he's bringing us back through this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Verse 15, and I will give you pastors according to my heart, leaders, shepherds. And those shepherds are our apostles and elders, bishops, those camp heads. And for all Israel, it's the men out there teaching. It says, and I'll give you pastors according to my heart. Again, referencing our elders and apostles, starting with elder apostle Har on down. The heart is the mind. So on the same accord, coming in the stead of Yahweh Shai, who thought it was not robbery to be on one accord, because he had the power to do so. I mention that because we coming in the said, of course, not with the same magnitude, but the same mindset, the same precepts, the same end goal. Serve Yahweh Shai to the best of our ability, have faith and works, and teach. It says, I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. Right? The fact that you are able to understand this information, make it plain upon tables, and warn those who are willing to take heed. You're special. According to mine heart, this is the thought to the Lord being conveyed through the prophet Jeremiah. Proverbs 10:21. It says, the lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for want of wisdom. I'll go up. Proverbs 10:20 says, the tongue of the just is as a choice silver. So the tongue, not your literal tongue, it's the things that proceed out of your mouth. And that is the sound doctrine, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding via the scriptures. It says, the heart of the wicked is little worth. The lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for want of wisdom. So the heart or the mindset of the wicked is ultimately futile in the grand scheme of things, but the Lord deals with balance. In the NLT, it says, the words of the godly are like sterling silver. The heart of a fool is worthless. And that's pretty plain. Because although the wicked seem like they're thriving now, they're ultimately going to be punished. That's why scriptures like Psalms tell us not to fret the evildoers. And the scriptures let us know that, the wicked shall not go unpunished. The wicked, meaning Esau, Edom, these other nations, and 2/3 of our people who are following under Esau's ways and under his vibration. Verse 21, it says, the lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for want of wisdom. And the lips of the righteous, who is the righteous in this? It's Yahweh Bashim Yahshua's men, the men who are breaking the scriptures down correctly. Because true wisdom stems from fear of the Lord. So all this pseudoscience, all the things that are contrary to the scriptures, no matter how wise they may seem, the righteousness in this context is the righteousness of the scriptures. Not being a good Samaritan, not being a good citizen. Not philosophy, not quoting Plato. The righteous are the prophets. And that's why we praise famous men, Sirach 44-47. These men being men of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, exemplified great faith. You can read about that in the book of Hebrews, the 11th chapter. Again, Proverbs 10:21. The lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for want of wisdom. So, again, point of this lesson, the Lord entrusted certain people this information. And what made me think about it was, this word is compared to a sword. This is a very deadly weapon. So imagine giving the most irresponsible person the deadliest weapon That would be a disaster, right? That's why you can't just give that type of stuff to anybody. Now you apply that spiritually. Imagine the most wicked, carnalist nigga you know. If you got eyes to see and ears to hear. And that's if the Lord not dealing with you, because we all, had wicked moments. We still do with this flesh. But think about what Paul said, was go get it. I mean, not with Paul and Acts. I don't want to take up too much. This Acts 9:13 says, "Then Ananias answered, Lord, I have heard by many of this man how much evil he have done to the saints at Jerusalem. And here he hath authority from the chief priest to bind all that call on thy name." And right, this is the point I was saying about the last analogy that I was using. Because the Apostle Paul was chosen. So if you meant to do this, it don't matter what past you have. You're made a new creature through Yahweh Shah Hamashiach. What you called into this ministry, that old man is dead. People hate that, but it is what it is. The Lord didn't give this information to everybody. He didn't give the Spirit to Joel Osteen. He didn't give the Spirit to T.D. Jakes. He didn't give the Spirit to, what's the dude name? With Jerry Curl, Farrakhan, all them niggas, He gave it to the men he deemed worthy. But point being, 15, it says, "But the Lord said unto him, Go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me to bear my name before the Gentiles, before the Israelites, who did not know that they were Israelites. They were keeping the customs of the people they were in captivity to, and not keeping the customs of their forefathers." It says, "To bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel. For I will show him how many great things he must suffer for my name's sake." Right. Another reason why this truth is not just given to anybody. That's James. That's James. I know it's in James. That's gonna bother me. So like, I was literally reading it the other day. I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna close. Lord willing. James 5:10. The water about Shmuel Shah. I thought it was early in the chapter. It says, "Take my brethren the prophets," and this will be a James speaking. The brother Yahweh Shah says, "Take my brethren the prophets who have spoken in the name of the Lord for an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience. Behold, we count them happy which endure." Again, Sirach 2, we're comforted by the scriptures. It takes a special person to be catching hell and smile. It takes a special person to catch hell and take a minute to stop and think like, okay, this is what's required of me to get that crown in Second Ezra. It takes a special spirit to, despite catching hell, still being fervent to serve the Lord. And the greatest example is seen of that, again, our elders and apostles, our camp heads. It says, behold, we count them happy which endure. Ye have heard of the patience of Job and have seen the end of the Lord. Right? So the Lord, is not going to leave us hanging. It may be times where we have to be reprimanded, maybe times where we have to wait a little bit. But at the end of the day, the Lord is not going to leave us destitute because he loves us. And we have comfort through these precepts pursuant to Romans 15:4. When we read Sirach 2, mentally girding our minds, preparing ourselves for more hardships, doing whatever we can to show the Lord that we love him and we're serious about it. 11 again from the top, behold, we count them happy which endure. Ye have heard of the patience of Job and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and tender and of tender mercy. So, point being, it takes a special person, i.e. Job. The Lord revealed a lot of things to these men. And now, from Genesis to Revelation, including the Apocrypha, we have access to that. And through the Holy Spirit, we can break it down and teach. Lord willing, be a part of that number to be delivered. Lord willing, our lot is to be servants to the Lord, prophets, the elect, as the scriptures refer to. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. Until next time, shalom.